On his way to meet Darim, Jae-hyuk stops at a small flower stall along the street. Smiling warmly, he exchanges a few friendly words with the vendor and carefully selects a bouquet, his excitement about seeing her evident in every gesture. Moments later, as he walks toward his car and tries to call Darim, everything changes. Young, who has been secretly following him, watches from a distance, still shaken and furious after being exposed alongside Chairman Chang. Young is consumed by humiliation and rage, blaming Jae-hyuk for the downfall that stripped him of his power and reputation. His anger festers into something far more dangerous. Driven by resentment and revenge, Young deliberately crashes into Jae-hyuk, leaving him critically injured. When Jae-hyuk doesn't answer her calls, Darim begins dialing again and again. With each unanswered ring, her unease deepens, panic slowly creeping in. She waits restlessly, unable to quiet the growing fear in her heart, still clinging to the hope that he is simply running late. That fragile hope shatters when she receives a call informing her that Jae-hyuk has been hospitalized after a serious accident. Darim rushes to the hospital and finds him alive, but unconscious, having fallen into a coma. From that moment on, she refuses to leave his side. For an entire month, she remains there, waiting, praying, and holding on to him with unwavering devotion. In the final moments we see, Darim placed a vase of fresh flowers on the table beside Jae-hyuk's hospital bed. She sat quietly in the chair next to him, gazing at his pale face as her fingers gently brushed through his hair. Worry clouded her eyes. Jae-hyuk still hadn't regained consciousness. The next morning, the mothers from the TF team came to visit. Jin-hee pulled Darim into a tight hug, silently offering her strength and comfort. That night, Darim stayed by Jae-hyuk's side, carefully wiping his face and neck, her touch tender despite his unresponsive state. The following day, Sunwoo stopped by with food, insisting she eat. Darim managed a faint smile and whispered a soft, "Thank you." Later that night, she sat on the edge of the bed and began reading a book aloud to Jae-hyuk, hoping her voice would reach him somehow. When Jae-hyuk's mother visited the next morning, Darim gently placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. In response, his mother tightly clasped Darim's hand, unable to hold back her emotions. Darim stayed beside Jae-hyuk and eventually fell asleep next to him. The next morning, sitting close to his bed, Darim murmured softly, "Jae-hyuk, you've been lying here for a month now. Aren't you bored? Wake up quickly and come play with me." Trying to spark a reaction, she pretended to answer a phone call from Sun-sik, hoping jealousy might coax him awake. "Why are you calling me?" "I'm not," she said aloud. "What? You want to have dinner with me?" But nothing changed. Growing desperate, Darim tightly clasped Jae-hyuk's hand and searched his face. "Jae-hyuk, how far away are you? You're almost here, right? I promised I'd shave you and wash your hair for the rest of my life. So please wake up, please." She lowered her forehead onto the hand she was holding, her grip trembling. Suddenly, Jae-hyuk's fingers twitched slightly. Darim froze. "Jae-hyuk, you just moved, right? You moved, didn't you?" Her heart racing, she rushed into the hallway to call the doctor. When she returned, Jae-hyuk's body shifted slightly, as if responding, though his eyes still hadn't opened. She stood there, barely daring to breathe, afraid she had imagined it all. Then she noticed the monitor, still recording. Darim turned toward the camera, tears spilling down her face. She covered her mouth, sobbing quietly, overwhelmed by hope and fear tangled together. She turned back to Jae-hyuk. Was that the sound of a wife, finally allowing herself to cry? The doctor arrives and confirms that Jae-hyuk has regained consciousness and is now stable. However, he delivers an unexpected blow. Jae-hyuk has lost his memories, though the news leaves her shaken. Darim is overwhelmed with relief. No matter what he remembers or forgets, the fact that he is awake feels like a miracle.